You're having a hard time here.
Yeah, man. College really isn't what I thought it'd be.
As a freshman, I was mostly worried about like my math homework and stuff like that because I was really bad with having homework every single night. But I learned that if you just set a routine and get into it, you know, like every single day do the same thing over and over again, then eventually having those kind of expectations for a school week, you know, in college.
Expecting to have a lot of homework and constantly just be sitting in my dorm room studying.
Expectations were just high. I wanted to explore and see the environment, get involved. That was really what I wanted to do, and at Kent State so far has exceeded every single one of my expectations and more.
I expected my classes to be really challenging. I expected them to take up a lot of my time, and I also expected to be able to meet a lot of people, but having to meet them in a really fast period of time.
They really weren't that different. Like, it turned out that as long as I, kept up with my reading and my homework, things really just, they go well when you put in the effort.
The environment of going to a new school, meeting new people, and just having to get along with people that you've never met before in your life and aren't even used to, and the global diversity in general is just incredible, and it's vastly different from high school, and that was really hard to get used to at first. But
Expectations of college have changed because I realized that although the classes are challenging and hard, if you budget your time and you actually work on your classes, they're not as overwhelming as you think. If you set certain times for your classes, you're going to get all your work done. And also, I found out that you don't have to be friends with everyone on campus. You don't have to know them personally. There's over 20,000 people, and I originally expected to have to talk to them all, but you don't. And that's what's different, because there's so many people, and every day you meet new people, and that's how it changed.
I went to the Writing Center for the first time with my first paper, actually, and they pieced it apart and told me everything that was wrong with it, but in the end, I got like an A on the paper. It was my first paper of college, and I was like, score! So I definitely suggest the Writing Center, because they will be brutally honest with you, but it'll help you in the end. Another thing that I found helped me was, I had a meeting with my media professor because my paper was slightly different than the rest of the classes because my major is slightly different, and we just sat there and talked for a few hours about the paper, and she gave me a lot of really awesome ideas, and we collaborated, and we ended up coming with a really awesome idea that's actually going to help me with, my future aspirations for the paper that I wrote. So just like getting to know your professors and talking to them, like they want to help you, they want to get to know you, and I don't know, it's really nice. So Writing Center is awesome, but also get to know the people that your professors are. They're not just figureheads, they're people, and they got ideas, and they want to hear yours too.
At first I thought having a job along with school was going to be just really hard, but now that I actually have a job, I like how I have to manage my time better, because I don't have a job that's overwhelming. It's not a crazy amount of time every week, but it's enough that it gives me a break in between schoolwork, and it forces me to get the things done that I need to get done when I do. Now, it has stopped me from doing certain things during the time periods that I work, but I think in the end it's going to be much more rewarding, because I know that I can work for what I want, and I'm not going to just have things handed to me.
I met a ton of people working on campus, man. There's a lot of cool people, like nice people that you can meet all over, but I worked at the Student Center down in the post office, and the people there were just really cool, and I made a lot of friends there.
Wow,
and
awesome.
as far as school goes, I was able to study a lot on that job, so no, it didn't affect my studying at all.
I've come to find that you can't do everything with people. There's so much to do here, and you can't do everything, but when there's something you really want to do, and it doesn't seem like the opportunity is going to come up, you gotta go into it, regardless of what schoolwork you got going on. But, I find that if I go to the library, there's no distractions, and I can buckle down and get stuff done. But, I'm sure if I had no social life at all, that I'd probably have better grades, but it's really worth it to just, chill and do your thing, and, in the long run, you'll be happier.
Like, I work on average about 20 hours a week, and when you work 20 hours a week, that's 20 hours that you potentially have to do homework or to do schoolwork in general. So when you put that in perspective, it's like, well, yeah, having a job definitely does affect schoolwork, but if you know how to balance your time correctly and you have good time management skills, then it shouldn't be a problem. And for me personally, it's never a problem to get both my schoolwork and my job in check. So I have no problem with it whatsoever. My goals for the future, as far as Kent State goes, would definitely be get on TV2. I want to be actively involved in TV2 so that I can graduate here with a full understanding of how a newsroom works. Also, I would like to graduate with at least a bachelor's degree in broadcast journalism, with potentially minoring in something else. I'm actively looking for things to do, and my goals keep actively changing, which is, in my opinion, I think a good thing, because it leaves me open for more things in the future to set my path straight.
Well, my goal coming into Kent State was definitely getting the Black Squirrel radio, and I made that happen. So now I really just want to be the best I can be, get a lot of awesome music out there to the public, and just have a good show.
But I want more out of college than just good grades, because in high school, it kind of was about grades or just kind of growing up. But college, I think it's more definitely about growing up and finding that you can work for yourself, you can prove to yourself that you can do it. So I think I want to really find really close relationships with friends, and I want to get involved on campus to show that you're a versatile person and you can work with multiple people or various types of people, and you can get the job done on time.
People are going to tell you that they were able to pass certain classes without attending and only going when they had tests or midterms. That's not always the case. You really do need to go to class, and you should go to review sessions that your professor holds. Just if you can fit it into your schedule, go. If you can't because you have another class, it's no big deal. But they really do help you. They tell you everything that's going to be on the test, and it's a really good resource.
Check your email, because I know that sounds really weird and most people don't even use email, but it's really important to stay online, not just on email, but stay online and be able to communicate with people that way, because that's a really good means of communication here.
Wow, what an improvement from last year. I mean, I really turned this thing around, and it was really bad. I started attending all my classes, engaging with my professors, and even going to all the review sessions they held for their exams. I managed my time well, spending lots of time in the library and hitting the books really hard. I got involved and decided to join a fraternity with brothers that really shared all my interests in music and sports, and also they study as well. I also managed to get a job through Career Services on campus, so that allows me to help pay for my tuition. Lastly, I stayed healthy and safe. I don't go anywhere I don't need to be at night, and in the wintertime, I made sure to put on a coat. And with all this is what you get. An A+.
Nothing, man. I'm just having a lot of trouble with this work. This assignment I just got. College really isn't what I was expecting it to be.